Ben Whittaker won again, Barry. The showing of the boat wasn't there quite as much. Certainly not for the first two rounds. He was beating Leon Willings up. But I spoke to Willings and his team in the week, and you look at Willings' physique, his age, and he took Whittaker on. Obviously, look, he got roundly beaten in terms of the points decision, and he took a bit of a shellacking at times. But you could see in his physicality that he's very powerful and very strong at 175 pounds. But also, he fought his own game in lots of ways as well. And he was ignoring that kind of pirouetting figure in front of him at times and said, no, I'm gonna play the shoulder roll on the ropes, and I'm going to do what I am, and I am going to counter you. And you're not even hurting me. I know he went down early in the fight, but it was fascinating. And this journey of Ben Whittaker is going to be fascinating as well.
Yeah, and I think so. I thought it was a good performance from Whittaker. I mean, I've seen people have a go at him, and I understand that he set a bar for himself with the showboating, and he put himself out there where he's going to be the Marmite fighter. I think people are going to love him. The younger generation are going to absolutely fall in love with him, like they did Naz, and the older generation are going to be a little more. He needs to be put in his place. But I've said to him, I said, listen, what you do, the showboating, I'm not a huge fan of, but do it more. Don't stop doing it.
Exactly. Be yourself. It's him, isn't it? It's natural. It's not an act.
It's a bit. He has tremendous ability. Like I don't take any. When I was watching on Sunday night, I didn't take any notice of the show, but I just watched the work.
Yeah.
I'm able now just to, especially when I'm there live, to just blank all that stuff out because that's not for me. You're doing that for other people, not doing that for me. So I'm just watching the work. The work is fantastic. He boxes really well. His judgment distance is really good. Okay, he hasn't got crunching power. But he's a big guy, so he can hit hard.
He hasn't got his man strength yet either. He's still a very young man.
Yeah, but I think he's a good. Technically he's very good. That first round was his best round because he did no showboating. He went
exactly.
But the showboating is what's going to make him a superstar. So he has to continue in that vein. Now he has to be the brash, arrogant guy. He has to live that life. If you got to be a strong character to live that life. But if you can do it, he's good enough to do it. But there were signs you can't get caught when you're doing it too close to the target. You can learn, and that's a learning fight for him and for Leon Willings. It's showing. It doesn't matter. Take the risk because even though he lost, he comes out with plenty of credit. He took he didn't win. He didn't win a round, but he gave him a good trouble. He made it. He made him have to search for the target, and he fired back and hit him with a few good shots. And people want to see Willings again against other people, see how he reacts.
Exactly, he's a name now, isn't he? Leon Willings is a name.
Yeah. But for Ben, I say the same with Ben Whittaker all the time. Just keep him busy. He doesn't need to be boxing really hard fights. Every now and again, he can say Willings, a learning fight like that. Put him next fight, put him against somebody he can batter and show off and do somersaults and just keep selling him as the next Naz. It doesn't matter. He's not going to be the next Naz because Naz is a unique character. But sell him like that. He might be his own version of Naz, whatever. But I mean, you got a little bit of a special talent. Where he ends up, nobody knows. But right now, he's doing the right things to sell it in a society full of everything's a commodity.
Entertainment. It's entertainment.
More than ever before, Gareth. It really is.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of it, but do it more. Keep doing it. That's what's going to set you apart from other talents.
What I will say about him, and he had a pop at people criticizing his showboating this week, was, and I talked about, I've done several interviews with him. Every time we're live with him at talkSPORT, I say, let's talk about the showboating tonight. It's a thing we do. But Jorge Paez, Muhammad Ali to a certain extent, Nazim Hamid, Willie Pep, James Toney, they all had their, and then there's loads more, but they had a very unique way of moving in the ring, didn't they? And they're all diverse and unique. I think he has such exuberance when he boxes, and he loves it so much. Once he's in there, he can't stop himself from doing it almost, But like you say, as he goes up the levels, he is going to have to do what he did for the first two rounds, which is really just show what a pure boxer he is as well, a classical type boxer in many ways. Because in that first round, it looked like he was literally, he put pressure on Willings. He was countering him and beating him up, wasn't he, really?
But the difference is when he was just all business, he was slipping punches inside.
Which he was amazing.
And then you can fire off that. When he's doing the showboating, he'll lean back to make you miss. And
Yeah.
it's you can get that the real sneaky uppercut off unknown again, but more than likely you can't really get a real shot of purchase off. That's the difference. But this, you are what you are, and I don't care what he's like, what his personality's like in real life. It's what he sells to the public.
He
And
doesn't come across as an arrogant man
no, he
in real
doesn't.
life. He's
But
very humble.
I'm saying I'm arguing maybe again. I'm going against what I personally like, but to make him a star, be
He's got
arrogant.
to do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Be the play the villain, play the character like the Chris Eubank did it. You know what I mean? Chris Eubank Jr. does it to an extent. They all do it, but you got to be a strong character to live with the criticism. And we've seen we've seen the thing with Andy Clark, and I think obviously with this, on Sky where they had a little bit of back and forth. Like if he can't take the criticism, he's going to be if it affects him, he's going to be a problem for him. Or is he just doing that to build up more drama?
Well,
He's a
it did build
genius.
more drama, didn't it? And then there was drama afterwards. One more question on Ben Whittaker for now. Reports that he could leave Sky soon when his contract's up. Is it time to be fighting higher caliber opponents? Dan Aziz is saying he wouldn't mind fighting him. Is that too early, a Dan Aziz fight?
I think it is, to be honest, and also I just think we need to see more of him. Like I go far to say he should be on every Sky show. I know that's financially might not be worth, but I mean, every time you think Sky boxing, you should think Ben Whittaker or whatever he ends up. It's almost like Whittaker boxing. You always think if he's not on the show, hang on, why isn't Ben Whittaker on the show? He should be boxing every single show. They should be showing him off because if you're betting that he's going to be your next pay-per-view star, which is what they're building him towards, then we just need to be almost ingrained in our thought process. When we turn on Sky Sports Boxing, it's him we see.